Now, I woke up on this fine Friday morning and went through my typical morning routine, right? And afterwards decided to sit at my desk, get on my phone, and doom scroll YouTube, as we do. And the first thing I saw when I clicked on YouTube was this video. And naturally I clicked on the video because it piqued my interest. I am in the MK community, so I wanted to see if this guy was being unbiased or disingenuous. By the title of this video, you might see where this is going, maybe not. Now, the first thing I want to point out is the fact that the title of his video is Why the Mortal Kombat 1 Streaming Numbers Are Devastating, MK1 Rant. But this not only isn't really a rant, it's more of a commentary video, but he never actually explains why the numbers are bad. In fact, he does the opposite in the video and says that these numbers actually don't mean shit, which you will actually see later on, so that's confusing. I forgot to mention if I sound like shit in this video, it's because I have the flu. Sorry about that. Now, before I get the specific points, let's go ahead and get the elephant in the room out of the way. Twitch numbers are a disingenuous way to try and paint a game as dead, especially when you consider the fact, and he says this in his video, that Mortal Kombat has always underperformed on Twitch compared to its contemporaries like Street Fighter and Tekken. And in tournaments, by the way, their tournament scenes are bigger than the MK tournament scene. But Mortal Kombat usually outperforms both of those games on YouTube and in sales, and for the most part that has maintained. I'm gonna get more into that later. So to even make a video because you saw this screenshot doesn't really make sense, because even at the moment right now, if I clicked on Twitch, Mortal Kombat would have more than 45 viewers. It's clear that the screenshot was taken at a low point when none of the creators like that actually pull viewers are actually streaming, because there's Mortal Kombat creators that pull hundreds of viewers. Like, there are times where Foxy Grandpa has 500 viewers. So yeah, Twitch numbers are just not a metric we should be looking at, really.
Another thing too, as you can see, you got Tekken 8, Mortal Kombat 1, and Street Fighter 6. Once again, this is getting portrayed as these three fighting games as the big three. Now, I've already went on record by saying that the whole big three thing needs to really just be dropped. You know, there are other fighting games out here that are active, and I'm pretty sure that there are other fighting games out here that are more streaming active than 45 people.
I'm sure there are other fighting games that are more streaming active than 45 viewers, but the thing I wonder is, why didn't you mention those specific games when you were talking about this in this video? Because I would actually love to know what games you're talking about. Like, at the moment right now, like, I went to look for myself, Mortal Kombat 1 has 550 viewers, right, which is a hell of a lot more than 45. Tekken has 2.3k and Street Fighter has 3.7k, a lot less than what was, you know, in the screenshot you're making this video about. But what other big fighting games are you talking about? Because I went to go look at Soul Calibur 6, it has 16 viewers. Super Smash Bros has 717, which is more than Mortal Kombat, but still less than Street Fighter and Tekken. Dragon Ball FighterZ has 12. DNF Duel has 0. Guilty Gear Strive has 222, less than Mortal Kombat. Sparking Zero has 624, and that game just came out. And bro, some people don't even consider it a fighting game. So I'm trying to figure out what games you're talking about, because yeah, Smash Brothers has a lot of viewers. It has more viewers than Mortal Kombat right now, but these other games don't.
I've said it in the past that Mortal Kombat is currently no longer a part of that big three. I've also said people really need to stop saying that. You know, the whole big three thing is it's just stupid.
Okay, this part was kind of funny to me, but it's also just easily refutable. But I want to respond to the second half first. Like, bro, what's your problem with the term big three, man? Like, I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's a great thing, actually, to acknowledge the three biggest in any given industry, right? It's not like you call three things the big three to shit on everything beneath it, right? You're just acknowledging the three biggest in any given industry. But, you know, to say Mortal Kombat is not part of a big three is just a flat out lie, and it's provable because if you just do one Google search and, you know, type in the most sold fighting game franchises of all time, technically Street Fighter and Tekken aren't big three if we're looking at that metric. If you're only looking at Twitch, then sure, you could kick Mortal Kombat out. But on YouTube, Mortal Kombat's still big three. You can look up the social blades of multiple creators and see people are getting millions of views off of Mortal Kombat. So in that aspect, It's definitely big three. Sales wise, it's big three. So what's kicking it out? Twitch metrics? I don't understand your point.
You know, I always thought Mortal Kombat is more so viewed on YouTube. I think people are more into the pre-recorded activity when it comes to Mortal Kombat. You know, whether it be Mortal Kombat tutorials, Mortal Kombat news, or, you know, Mortal Kombat updates, or when something happens, you know, like if Ed Boon fucks up or NetherRealm fucks up, or if they bring out another dumbass Hollywood character. I kind of feel like people are more into that when it comes to Mortal Kombat. I honestly don't feel like people are into live watching when it comes to Mortal Kombat 1 or Mortal Kombat in general.
Now, when he says that the MK community cares way more about pre-recorded content, he's absolutely right. That's true. The majority of viewership for Mortal Kombat is on YouTube, and I think it would be that way for the other fighting games too. But specifically in Mortal Kombat, you're gonna find the biggest part of the community on YouTube. That's true. But then you had to go and soil your reputation by trying to make it seem like people only care when it's, you know, when the pre-recorded content is news and updates and tutorials, and what's the other thing he said, when NetherRealm adds a dumbass Hollywood character or Ed Boon fucks up. That's provably incorrect, because you can just go to Social Blade, this beautiful website, and see that creators like Super, Waz, Mike Trelinsky, they have so many monthly views, and these guys just do gameplay. And these guys actually have more views than those news channels, so, which we will get to later in the video, because this point does come back up. But yeah, I think the vast majority of the interest around Mortal Kombat on YouTube is gameplay. I think we can see that. I think the real problem is that it's become commonplace and more popular to shit on the game and complain about everything that gets added to the game than the actual gameplay, because the gameplay of Mortal Kombat 1 is not terrible, right? It has its flaws, but it's not terrible. Like, the actual gameplay is engaging and it's fun. There's other outliers that fuck up this game, but that's not what this video is about. So this game is kind of like, you know, people treat this game the same way commentary channels treat like a Fresh and Fit or Andrew Tate, right? It's more lucrative to talk about them when they're doing something wrong or when they're in the negative side of the press. So of course you're gonna have that point of view when you click on YouTube and that's all you see. But again, Social Blade just proves that to be wrong.
Now, a handful of these people out of the 45, we already know who they are. It's kind of obvious. You feel what I'm saying? You know, you got my homeboy Sikander, you got Super, and a couple of other people.
Now, this clip right here got me wondering if this dude is even part of the Mortal Kombat community at all. Because he, you know, tries to make it seem like Sikander and Super are part of the 45 viewers on Twitch. If you know anything about either of these two creators, it's that one, Sikander streams on YouTube and pulls hundreds of viewers, and two, when Super does stream, which is extremely rare, he streams on both platforms and pulls 100+ viewers on both platforms. So if either of those two dudes were live, this number would be way bigger.
But the thing with Tekken is, Tekken has a little bit more of a pre-recorded content and live stream balance. And what I mean by that is a good majority of Tekken content creators are also live streamers. So there's a little bit of a balance there when it comes to Tekken, you know, and that explains Tekken's 7K right there. A good majority of that 7K, they probably also do other things as far as content or social media, whatever is concerned when it comes to Tekken. And the same thing with Street Fighter. You feel what I'm saying? But when it comes to Mortal Kombat, I think people are just really looking for pre-recorded activity when it comes to Mortal Kombat.
I vehemently agree with this, bro. I've actually had this video idea in the tuck for a little bit in my notepad, where I basically just wanted to discuss that. Personally, I feel like content creators in the Mortal Kombat scene don't actually try hard enough. Like, I think the people who put the most effort are the people who host the tournaments, you know, your Rips Arenas, your Coliseums, Champions of the Realms, things of that nature. They put in a lot of effort, but the rest of the content creators are pretty much just posting gameplay, and they're not trying to revolutionize in any way, and a lot of them don't stream. That's very true. So I actually absolutely agree with this. He's 100% correct here. That needs to change.
I have never decided one day to get on my phone or get on my computer and be like, okay, let's watch some live Mortal Kombat, like anything. I never did that. I didn't even do that with Mortal Kombat 9. You feel what I'm saying? Because Mortal Kombat 9 was so good, you just had to play it by yourself. You had to experience that shit yourself. So Mortal Kombat 9 was one of those games you really, truly, honestly did not want to go and look for a live streamer and look at them, because the experience was so great, you had to experience for yourself. And it was great. Mortal Kombat X, same thing. Not one time was I like, okay, let's get on Twitch and watch a exclusive Mortal Kombat live streamer or Mortal Kombat X live streamer. You know, I was looking for creative things.
So 2 things right off the bat. 1, you are not the standard for what makes a game good. I just want you to understand that, bro. There's a such thing as preference, and while you might not wake up and want to watch Mortal Kombat streams, there are people who do. Me personally, I've never woken up and said, man, let me go watch a Tekken stream. That doesn't automatically make me just decide in my head that Tekken sucks and that Tekken live streams suck just because I don't want to watch them. I watch Mortal Kombat content. That's what I like. So if I'm gonna watch a stream, it's gonna be a game that I play and a game that I absolutely love. I love Mortal Kombat and I love Destiny. And Dead by Daylight. So if I'm on Twitch, I'm watching one of those 3 games. That's not revolutionary to say, bro. He's also downplaying the great live content that we do have in the MK community. Pretty much any tournament hosted channel is gonna bring you some hype, really high-end content, right? But there's one channel I specifically want to highlight. If you're hearing my voice right now, watch a Foxy Grandpa. You want to watch entertaining Mortal Kombat where it's high level and hilarious? That dude is the perfect blend of both of those things. So to make it seem like there's no such thing as Mortal Kombat and live being a good thing, it's just disingenuous.
At that time, History Behind the Warrior probably was making the best Mortal Kombat content in the world. Even above Super, even above Ketchup and Mustard, History Behind the Warrior was killing it at that time. You know, the story lores, the character lores, how he went back, you know, even before the time of the realms, the start of the One Being. He was doing all of that shit. And the reason that I'm telling y'all this is because I'm trying to get y'all to get that vision in y'all heads where this is what people look for when it comes to Mortal Kombat. They not looking for live stream gameplay action. They're not looking for that from Mortal Kombat. Now, one thing that people will do with Mortal Kombat, people will watch some pre-recorded gameplay like a motherfucker with Mortal Kombat.
That take about History Behind the Warrior, I absolutely agree with, bro. At his peak, that man was making some top tier content, bro. Like, I was consuming the hell out of this man's content. Hell, most of the things I know about Mortal Kombat lore are from his channel. So that I agree with. But then you gotta think, right? At Destroyer's peak, he was most definitely making the best MK content at that time. When Destroyer peaked, he was pretty much only doing live stream tournaments, right, and uploading to his channel. He was single-handedly holding the community together when the community was dying between MKX and MK11. So you could say the same thing about him, and the majority of that was live streamed. I think it's crazy that we can comfortably say that we all pretty much discovered Ninja Killer because of Destroyer. So I think we gotta give that man his flowers too.
You know, when it comes to the live, and that's what it is with Mortal Kombat, I think people rather be creative and informative than to be live with it, than to just live stream or whatever. With Mortal Kombat, people want to be creative and informative and educational, entertaining.
He's still on this tip that people only care about educational, informative content in the MK community. So I want to go ahead and debunk this. Remember, I said we were going to come back to this. So if we go back to that beautiful website called Social Blade and we look up True Underdog Gaming here, you can see this man has 840,000 views in the last 30 days. He is an informative channel, 460,000 subscribers, which is a great feat, right? 840,000. Then we go look up Waz. Waz has half of his subs, but Waz has almost 2 million views, and Waz doesn't upload informative content. He uploads gameplay, and he's a lot less consistent than True. One example ain't good enough for you. You might think that's a coincidence. Let's look at Dynasty. Dynasty has 476,000 subs. And he is an informative channel. He does news, updates, and stuff just like True Underdog. 705,000 views. Nothing small. But then you look at Mike Trelinsky, who is definitely inconsistent. This dude uploads like every 3 months or so. He has less subs than Dynasty, but he has over 1 million views. So I think it's clear people care way more about gameplay than information.
And I know I done bought y'all a lot of past stories when it comes to this topic, but the reason that I did that is because I'm just simply explaining why you're seeing this 45, why you're seeing the number 45. It's just something when it comes to this live experience, it's just something that Mortal Kombat just does not excel in, and it never did. Mortal Kombat, as far as this whole social media thing goes, excels in other places.
I agree with this, but it's not just that though, right? You got to consider the fact that we literally have our worst game in the NRS era competing with Tekken and Street Fighter's recent best. If you really think about it, when we had MK11, it was dominating, bro. Go look back at like the amount of awards that have been given out for Fighting Game of the Year. Mortal Kombat, well, NRS period, every other NRS game has won Fighting Game of the Year except Mortal Kombat 1. I'm so serious. Go look it up. That's a fact. So we have our worst NRS era Mortal Kombat going against Street Fighter and Tekken's best recent games. So I think it's pretty clear there's going to be more interest on those games. And that's coming from a lifelong Mortal Kombat fan who also likes Tekken. And I really don't like Street Fighter. I'm going to be honest. I like Street Fighter 6, but Street Fighter in general, not really a fan of it, right? But these two games are just superior to Mortal Kombat, and the better product should do better. So yeah, that's also the reason why.
And the other places that Mortal Kombat excels in, Mortal Kombat actually does pretty well. Even if Mortal Kombat 1 is not doing well at the time. You know, Mortal Kombat excels in things such as, you know, creative pre-recorded YouTube videos, Twitter clips, Facebook clips, and all of that. Mortal Kombat excels in that, probably even more than Tekken and Street Fighter. You know, I'm gonna put that out there. But it's just when it comes to the whole live streaming, live activity, people just don't look for Mortal Kombat to fill that void.
This is genuinely true. I mean, we've already established that when it comes to live streaming, Mortal Kombat underperforms compared to these two other games. But there is one crucial area that he did leave out in the metrics, and the thing that people are going to say doesn't matter, but at the end of the day, it does play a factor. I'm talking about the sales. Earlier in the video when he was saying like, oh, Mortal Kombat's not in the big three, I briefly talked about this. But if you actually look at the list, Mortal Kombat is the #1 most sold fighting game franchise, bar none. And Street Fighter and Tekken come in at 4th and 5th. So not only is it definitely in the big three conversation, but there's clearly interest around this game. It's a household name. People are going to buy Mortal Kombat. It's like Call of Duty. Most Call of Duty games are fucking garbage, but people still buy the shit that Activision takes in a box and calls it a video game because Call of Duty is a household name. So MK1 is undoubtedly a blemish on the reputation of NRS, and people are gonna buy the next Mortal Kombat game with an air of caution, but I would really bet money it will still sell well because it's Mortal Kombat, bro.
This low number that you see, yeah, it's devastating compared to the other two, but it ain't shit. I wouldn't even worry about it. I wouldn't even worry about this. I honestly wouldn't. And like I said, I know I surprised a lot of people when I came on here defending Mortal Kombat 1 and defending this 45. But yeah, this right here ain't nothing.
Pretty much what I just said, but I do think it's important to highlight when you do agree. Yeah, I don't think these streaming numbers mean shit in the grand scheme of things, bro. I don't think it really matters because there are moments where you click on the game and it has 4-digit viewers. There are times where I've clicked on it and it's had 1 digit. I've actually seen that before. So I don't think it makes a difference. What really matters is them either somehow digging this game out of its grave or making sure that MK13 is the perfect Mortal Kombat game and it has everything in it that the fans want.
This is not an infliction of Mortal Kombat 1 slippage at all. It's just not. Has nothing to do with it.
Nothing to do with it? I don't know about that, bro. I think that the negative press around this game and the negative reception of it by the fans especially is a direct cause for the numbers being as low as they are. Now, I can't recall how high the numbers were in MK11, but I do remember consistently getting on Twitch and there would be around 1,000 viewers, right? Or sometimes it'd be even more, right? So the numbers have dropped across the board, like even on YouTube, right? The numbers have dropped drastically. So the quality of this game and the press around this game definitely has a big impact on, as you said, this 45 on Twitch. It definitely does. We just gotta call a spade a spade. But I also agree that the 45 viewers on Twitch at this random hour of whenever the screenshot was taken is not an indication of the overall health of this game. That I agree with, and I think using Twitch metrics is just hella disingenuous, especially when you're talking about Mortal Kombat, which, as you agree, is a game that historically does not stream well. That's pretty much it for this video. I'm not trying to hate on this dude or say that he's like an idiot or anything like that. We just clearly don't see eye to eye on certain things when it comes to this topic. And like I said, I just saw his video and it kind of just inspired me to make this video because I didn't agree with most of the things he was saying. But I'm not saying he's not an MK fan. I'm not saying he doesn't like Mortal Kombat or anything like that. But I just think his opinions are a bit shaky, let's put it like that. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, let me know if you think I'm absolutely wrong in the comment section. And yeah, that's it for me. Peace.